Hi, and welcome to Ascension once again. This is Roxanne. Thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to get to channeling. We're checking on Ra. He's very happy today. What is it about the baby noises we all love? It's so cute. Crunch and munch. Thanks all for tuning in once again. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We bid you a good day. Alright, we would like to offer a message to maybe some of those who have been feeling this idea. Calling all mediums. First, let us expound on the idea and definition of mediumship, if you will. It is a distinct difference between an idea of a psychic, a channeler, a medium. You have tickled the idea, humanity, where you're speaking of, on what depths, let's say, mediumship can take you to. How far you can go into the idea. It is the idea through, let's say, Long Island medium to connect and hear spirit saying on the other side and speaking, and then they show pictures. Truly, it runs much deeper. And there has been a calling to mediums as of late. It is an idea to offer assistance. The idea of mediumship, first we will explain, is an idea of encompassing a fraction, a fractal, an idea of a person upon earth is one way to look at it. There are other ideas of medium, but this is where we're going to focus, for there is an intentional purpose for this. The idea of seeing a person that has been on earth who has passed. It is an idea of taking that person's vibration and seeing it and translating it in your own way. The deeper sense we would like you to journey into is that of becoming the fractal. Seeing from the fractal's eyes. Feeling the fractal in and of itself. You are still your own subjective universe as well as that fractal in the sense of the higher. The higher I am. Individual singularity always remains. But the fractal can be encompassed fully. Oh yes. You can understand, feel, cry, pain, sorrow, laugh, joyous. Relive the memories as the medium. Take that idea fractal and bring it into your body. And become that person. Much like in the movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg being the medium. And the idea was being, let's say, a host, if you will, to that of, let's say, Patrick Swayze at the time. So in that idea, there are mediums out there ready to become mediums. Maybe it's been tickling, maybe it's a dream, maybe this idea is just perfect synchronicity for you. To learn, let's say, remember, how to become a medium. For what purpose? Not the idea for, let's say, status. No. Not the idea for proving to yourself that you're that awesome, because you already are. We know this. Not the idea of, let's say, showing the world that you can do something and earn their abundance, which is now your abundance. Abundance flows freely now, truly. All you have to do, as you all know, is just get out of the way, and it comes, truly. All right. The idea is this, is there's gardens, fields, ideas of places. We call, let's say, a spiritual graveyard, if you will. A dormitory of sleeping entities. Not the oversoul, not the all that is, the fractals. The fractals that don't realize they've left the idea of this plane. Their focus is only within the idea of humanity in its, let's say, repetition. The idea of ghosts, if you will. They only understand the frequency of themselves. They do not have the same thought you do. They do not think and remember as you do. They do not feel or perceive as you do. So do not equate your reality to their in any kind of expectation. You have to understand that they are living their own individual singularity understanding of the frequency of that fractal. Ones sometimes that do not know they have passed on live in a reality bubble where there is no time, there is no day, there is no night. There is only the now of choice. The choice they have presented to them is their memory. So in other words, they relive their memories over and over again. But they don't know they're reliving the memories. Their memory is renewed every moment. As it just happened. It just happened. And this is the first time I'm experiencing it. And now this just happened. And now this is the first time I just experienced this. Their whole life as a child, when they died, how they died, if they even know they died in some sense. Maybe they're just viewing an accident and they don't realize it's them. But that's them, higher guides, trying to show them that they've passed on. And that idea. So it can be many, many different ideas. We would like you not to think for them. Anybody in that fashion. When you encounter something like this, love is needed. Oh yes. And for those who are choosing to become an idea medium, to raise out of their own, let's say, world of forgetfulness, we like to call it, this world, but they truly, let's say, have an opportunity to leave, but they forgot they can leave. True. So this world of forgetfulness has a lot of entities. For polarity has been around a long time. And when you sink this, let's say, far into what you call depth of forgetfulness, it has been difficult for many to leave. Fear none of you in this now that this will happen to any of you, for you all realize. There's no way for you to undo what you know. Therefore, upon your separation of the physical idea, you will certainly move on. But there are many that are here in that garden that we talked about. Lined up, entities sleeping, fractals. And we all go in there in one way or the other and hop into their dreams and give them ways to wake up. Some do, some don't. They all eventually do, of course. But in this space-time now, we are asking for an accelerated idea help of the mediums that are now out there listening to this idea. And through, of course, the co-creation connections to be in the nows to come for this idea. These are the mediums that we are speaking to, that we would like you to encompass the idea, to understand. And now, just the idea in and of itself is all you need. And you will be, let's say, intrigued to pursue it through synchronicities, co-creation, to understand it fully. We have given you enough basis for it to unfold on its own. There is no rush, for there is no time. So in that idea, when you become, if you choose, a medium, you can find, through connections, those ideas of ghosts. Have them come in and speak through you to whomever co-created synchronistic will appear. And then you will offer them a way home. Most likely, it will not be you, the medium. It will be someone within the idea of co-creation to help them go home. It could be a channeler. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. Now, we would also like you to heed these words as well. The idea of telling them to go home is not your idea on how to go home. It is the way you feel in the moment only to give them permission to go home. There are some that are afraid to go home because they're afraid of being judged. This is why most of them have stayed asleep, because they're literally scared shitless. They didn't do it right on earth, and they don't want to go up there because they're waiting, fearing to be judged. And of course, there is no judgment. So in some regards, you can't convince them there is no judgment, because they're in polarity and they have nothing tangible to compare to, because they're in this frequency world. They can only communicate through the idea of sound with mediums. Dreams is how we're communicating with them. Voices in their head, and they're chalking that up a lot of the time to just ideas of their own self fooling themselves, tricking themselves. Many ideas of, let's say, maybe the idea of Satan whispering in their ears, telling them things so they go get judged, so he can capture them. That's not the idea. Let's not go there and speak in the way of there's no judgment when most of them are being judged by their own selves. You want to give them love. You want to show them a different idea. That if it is angelics, then you are an angel. That kind of idea. And know the angel in your heart that will help them reach out, that they connect to. Any of the angels, any of the arcs, well-known and unknown. Follow your heart in the moment to those who will be helping those cross over, as well as the mediums. The mediums will be, let's say, a bridge, a transient idea, vibration, to allow this entity to speak in sound. Okay? In other words, from their perspective, they are going to be literally hearing in their reality a voice that is audible outside of their head. This is the gift, if you will, of mediumship. They are perceiving it as if it's real in the now, where they are co-creating with themselves, with their memories, with their own beliefs of reality. That's the difference between if we're up here guiding them in a dream state, voices in the head. Big difference. A lot do wake up to the idea of the guides inside of their head to release themselves and know that they are, let's say, not the body and are allowed to go home and there is no judgment, or however they perceive it. That's different. Mediums is in this frequency band. You are here. They are here. You will co-create as if you are in the room with them or wherever they may be. Most entities stay around the idea of where they passed. Very few travel away from that, for that's all they know. They are traveling in their minds different places, but the co-creation space-time location is the connection. Where the connection is most, let's say, easy to connect with, if you will, is where they passed. Not the graveyard, not the places that they admired or spent a lot of time at. Where they passed. Whether it's a hospital, whether it's at home, whether it's a, let's say, an accident, any of those places where they passed is where they usually hang out, and the frequency location band available for connection with a medium. All right. Now, the mediums need not be in that location. The mediums just need to accept that they are in that location. Visually, Google Maps, I know it sounds silly, but it's easy. You find that location, the medium hones in and finds who has come to the medium and connect with entity. Anybody. Any of the family members, friends that you, anybody, we're not talking to the mediums now, anybody fears there is someone who has not crossed over. And you ghost people out there that have ghosts living with them and such. So, when you find the mediums and the mediums become mediums, this will be an accelerated idea for those who are lost within the frequency because of polarity, fearing to leave it because they don't know what's going to happen on the other side. Now is the calling, is what we're asking. So, any of those who feel in that idea, they're ready to become a medium, and you have any idea questions, any idea seekings or understandings to a point that your intrigue has gotten you to and now there's some distortions, then please contact us. You know how to get a hold of Roxy, email her, Facebook. You all know it's really easy to get a hold. She has her phone number on her Facebook page, so call her. It doesn't matter. So in this idea, we can release thousands upon thousands upon thousands of ideas that have lost over the millenniums that have passed in the idea of polarity. So those fractals, let's say, are there. They will always be there in the now of their own choosing. There's no rush. Take your time to develop your skill. Understand. Now, the idea is you will feel them. You will understand their fiber, their being as a fractal. You will understand memories. You will understand the feelings of the memories, what they went through the scales of polarity. From to okay? That kind of idea. So a practicum, first it's choice, then a practicum, getting used to it, understanding, expanding upon it. This is the idea of mediumships in its fullest. In this idea, there are more ideas of mediumship, different frequencies to play with. But in this space-time now, we are calling upon mediums who would wish to help those who have not crossed over, truly. And this is truly, oh yes, a gift. It is a completely different world in one sense, but of course it is the same in another sense than channeling or psychics. That kind of idea. And whatever else definitions you have of beyond the idea of physical and the spiritual aspect. So, once again, this is the idea calling to all mediums. Come forth if you choose. Follow your heart. Your higher self is there. Trust your intuition. Trust your mind. Everything you've done till now is now in place for you to move forward. Fear nothing. Be what you want to be, play in that field, and you can offer servicing to those who are lost. Once again, thank you all. This is all we have for this space-time now. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We bid you a good day. Adore. Cool. Oh, that's, oh, yeah. Okay. All right, cool. I love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.